For a guy named Knuckles, you are really bad at punching.
Get
Oh,
Knuckles.
that looks amazing.
I know, it looks so good.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on another steaming hot edition of Cup of Joe's. I'm your host, Joe Brown, joined by my best friend, Joe Perrin. And Joe, on this very special episode 81 of Cup of Joe's, we're gonna start off going fast.
You gotta go fast.
We're gonna go Sonic speed, baby.
That's what I was gonna say.
We finished each other's sandwiches, Joe.
Yes.
Okay.
Each other sandwiches.
That's what I
that's it.
Mental synchronization. Okay. Anyway, so now we're done singing Frozen. We're going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 releasing in April. A brand new trailer just dropped recently. So we actually just watched it together, and we're very excited about that. Because I don't know if you remember, Joe, but technically Sonic the Hedgehog was the highest grossing superhero movie of 2020. There's no caveats to that sentence at all,
I didn't know that, but okay.
Well, I mean, there was 4 movies that came out in 2020, Joe?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So on top of Sonic, we're also going to talk about the PlayStation State of Play that happened last week. So I'll go over some of those games that Joe and I are interested in, and then just have a conversation about how many games are coming out recently and in the next coming weeks that we're excited about, and just the total breadth of video games that are the scope of how many awesome video games are being made and released right now. So I say we start first with the Sonic discussion, though, Joe. So we just watched that trailer together. We were laughing and giggling the whole time. Robotnik is back. Sonic's up to his old shenanigans. We see Tails and Knuckles. What are your thoughts from the latest Sonic trailer?
Excited for it, especially because Robotnik, me and you both laughed at it, pops in on Sonic and goes, "Did somebody order an Uber?" And then at the end of the trailer, when it's Knuckles and Sonic are fighting each other, Sonic is just dodging all of Knuckles' punches, and he goes, "For someone named Knuckles, you're really bad at punching." And I'm just all about it. It just looks like a good time.
I love that. Obviously they're going in a different direction, because we know the first movie is not really story accurate. They kind of made it more possible for Sonic to be on Earth and whatnot. So that's why I'm not really too upset that Knuckles is in this movie, even though he doesn't come until the third game. I've seen people complain about that stuff, but it makes sense because they need a new antagonist, because if you're bringing in Tails isn't really an antagonist. You need somebody else, and you can't just have Robotnik again. So I wonder what it'll be in the future. If I assume by the end they'll all end up friends and eat chili dogs together or whatever. But I wonder.
Go ahead.
Well, sorry. I'm saying, is Knuckles playing a shadow role, where he's fully created and conceptually and under the control of Robotnik, or is he just his own dude that also wants to fight Sonic?
Well, if you remember the storyline of Knuckles, the reason that Knuckles is mad at Sonic, or in this part has been kind of duped by Eggman or Robotnik at this point, is that Eggman lies to Knuckles saying that Sonic has stolen the Master Emerald, and Knuckles is the protector of the Master Emerald. So if someone takes it, he has to go get it from them. So I think the whole thing is going to be Knuckles thinking that Sonic stole it, and that's how he has his power. But Knuckles will then figure out that Robotnik stole it, and Knuckles and Sonic will team up they always end up doing.
Exactly.
At least that's how it always plays out in the video games. Sonic's collecting the Chaos Emeralds. Eggman tells Knuckles that Sonic is stealing the Master Emerald's parts because it always breaks up into shards. but really Eggman is the one who's doing it to steal the Master Emerald. So that's my whole thing, is I think that's what's going to happen in this movie. At least it also kind of like seems like it, because he's like, you don't have the training or the like you shouldn't have the power. He says, I think in another part of the trailer, because remember, Sonic comes from the world that has all these echidna warriors.
Mm-hmm. And he was
Remember
running from them or whatever, right?
He was getting chased. He was getting chased by them, in the first one, right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like that's where we're gonna go, is in that direction. So I think in the middle near to end movie, there will be a turn to the alliances in the movie.
Yeah, and then obviously Robotnik's plan will be thwarted once again. They save the world and everything, but like that first movie was so good, and from all of these trailers that we've seen so far, the second movie looks like it's gonna be just on that same level. Like the humor is there, the action is there. Like there was the one part where Sonic was sliding down the avalanche, and both you and I both were like, whoa, like how cool it looks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this movie is definitely going to live up to the sequel expectations, and I am incredibly excited for it.
Now, I have a question, Joe. Do you think that I'll save my opinion for after yours. Do you think that they're going to set it up for a third movie?
I think they'd be... It's tough because, like, if a sequel bombs and you set up the sequel to make more movies, you kind of can't. So I guess it depends on how they think it's going to go, and I think they think this will be a success because everybody likes Knuckles, everyone likes Idris Elba, everyone loved Jim Carrey as Robotnik and stuff. So I think they think it'll be a success, like the movie studios. So I would say yes, this probably sets up a third movie, because if you think about it, there's so in the Sonic lore, like there is so many different ways they can go. There's so many characters they can introduce. We haven't even seen Amy yet, right? And Amy is, like just as old as Knuckles probably. I feel like she's been around forever.
Been around before Knuckles because it's always been Sonic's girlfriend.
Right. So like there's so many, like they can introduce Amy, they can introduce a Shadow storyline, they can introduce a Metal Sonic storyline, whose Metal Sonic is older than Shadow is, right? So I wonder,
man, I totally forgot about that.
I was going to say there's so much lore when it comes to Sonic, and of course there's like 8 million issues of comic books, of Sonic comic books too, with the different characters in that universe. So I think they'd be crazy not to, because you could just pump these movies out every couple years and just make money.
You're right. I was honestly thinking, like, I don't know if I want them to make another movie after this.
Right.
But I forgot about all that, like the Metal Sonic and all that good stuff. Like, they could also introduce Rouge,
right?
Knuckles' counterpart. And then you would have Shadow. And then,
could you Silver from Sonic 06,
No, no. If we're not going to introduce him before we introduce Big the Cat.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
You got to introduce Big the Cat, and then you got to introduce like that alligator in the weird bumblebee from Sonic Teams or whatever.
Now, what we also need is a Netflix miniseries about the Chow Gardens. And you got Big the Cat, and you have everybody, you walk around with your Chow, and you do the Chow racing and everything. That's what we really need.
Everybody wants that. I just want to hear Froggy's storyline.
Yeah, I don't know. Make the Sonic movies like Fast and Furious. Just keep doing collaborations, keep pumping them out for me, and I will go to the theater every single time.
Yes.
All right, so
all right.
On from video game movies.
Real quick, Sonic, April 8th.
Yes.
It's coming out next month. Exciting. Moving on now.
Yes, so on from video game movies to actual video games, we're going to recap the PlayStation State of Play that happened last week. So it was only about 20 minutes long, and it seems like this is, in general, the way the State of Plays are going to continue going. It's not going to be gigantic announcements or 45-minute videos, like unless they have a certain topic, like a couple months ago with Horizon Forbidden West, where they kind of focused on that. So this is just 20 minutes of snippets of a lot of things being released by PlayStation with a heavy focus on Japanese publishers. And we'll get to my Square boys at the end, because of course they went last because they're a big deal. But Joe, I guess we can just kind of like run through some of these. Like you were more excited about than me. So like if you want to start off with Capcom, they revealed Exoprimal.
Exoprimal, yeah. So essentially, this game kind of looks like an updated, like futuristic version of Dino Crisis, where you and 4 friends are working together in this kind of looking dystopia part of this city that keep having these things called dinosaur anomalies, where it's like a wormhole opens up and then dinosaurs just pour out of them. And what you're essentially doing is you are 4 people part of a team that is used to fight off these anomalies, like when they happen. And you are all in mech suits. All of them, once again, have different like skills and like moves to do. They didn't really explain what each one did, but there's definitely like a tank one. There's definitely like a magic using one kind of that flies around. There's one that moves really fast. There's one that's like the kind of like the equalizer, if you want to call it, where it's got like a bunch of stuff going for it, but it's not like a master of all of like one particular thing. And it also looks like you can get out of your suit and switch with someone in the middle of the battle if you wanted to. It looks like you can like change mech suits or switch out of your mech suit.
Right.
And it looks like it has a little bit of a storyline to it. But it seemed pretty interesting for people who are interested. It's like a co-op game. When Joe asked me about it, I kind of referred to it as if Anthem had dinosaurs in it, but was a better game. But yeah, so it seems pretty cool. If I would take a good old look at it if that kind of falls up your alley. But yeah, it seems interesting.
And it's coming into PS4 and PS5 in 2023. And the getting in and out of suits makes sense, like Exoprimal, exoskeleton, primal dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like it, kind of makes that's a good name. We can agree that is a good name for a video game. We'll get to some names that are not good names for video games later.
Oh man, foreshadow.
Yeah, I wonder what company is renowned for awful video game names.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, next up was Ghostwire Tokyo, which is finally launching at the end in March. March
Friday.
Yeah.
Next Friday, it's coming. I'm gonna walk around Japan doing stuff like Doctor Strange does, and I'm gonna destroy the spooky.
It's spooky.
It's spooky.
Yeah. So that trailer we watched, it was in Japanese. I know Joe is actually debating if he should play the game subbed or dubbed now at this point because of how cool it sounded in Japanese. But like visually looked really cool. The POV from the main player, like where he's just like grabbing energy and shooting it out at people and stuff. I'm like, oh, this looks pretty spicy.
You can grab my energy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seems really cool. Like everybody knows what the big bad looks like. It's the dude in that Japanese style mask. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. But it seems
kind
like
of looks like a
demon
skull looking thing
with horns coming out of it. Yeah. It's a very like, I wanted to say signature mask. But it looks really cool. I'm really excited to start getting at those demons and those ghosts, because some of the design on some of those ghosts were actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa. But yeah, that comes out next Friday. I'm gonna be about it for a little bit, and then I'll be jumping in between another game that's coming out next Friday. But we will talk about that at a different time.
Hold on 1 second, Joe, because I'm looking at the trailer now on the So, and the deluxe edition, so hopefully you get this, comes with a shinobi outfit, which looks cool. Some streetwear outfit packs for you to choose from is cool. The game, obviously. And then 3-day full game early access. PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 store exclusive. Pre-order digital deluxe edition for PS5 for up to 3 days early access. So you might not have to wait till the 25th if you want to get it now, Joe. If you pre-order it, you can get it on the 22nd.
Looking into it right now, Joe.
You'd have to buy it digitally, I believe, though. Yeah, PS5 store exclusive.
Please continue with the podcast while I do this.
Okay, yeah. So you do that, and I'm going to talk about Final Fantasy: A Stranger of Paradise because that's a game that has been getting memed on endlessly for the last year or so since they announced it with killing chaos and I'm chaos and your mom is chaos and all the chaos memes. But the Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin released a demo that I actually haven't even tried yet. I should probably go play it because I am excited to play this game because the combat looks really cool and I'm a sucker for Square and Final Fantasy games and. So, but it's developed by Team Ninja, the people who made Nioh. So that's why if the gameplay kind of gives like a Nioh vibe off of it. That's why it's the same developers. It's a free demo to try out. The game does come out as of uploading today, actually. So maybe I shouldn't even try the demo. I should just start playing the game. Although I'm not going to be able to finish it because we'll talk about all of the games in March that are coming out that are just going to be taking my time away. Plus I got to play, League and everything still because I'm addicted. But it's going to be tough. I think the game should be fun. The combat looks really good. I saw there was like a 4-minute video on the basics of the battle and stuff, and it looks really fun. Some of the action, like he grabs a dragon and just like from its tail and like slams it on the ground. I'm like, ooh, that's going to feel cool to do. So will the storyline be obtuse and nonsensical and ridiculous and hard to understand? Sure, but that's par for the course. That's what we're here for. But the gameplay is what really looks like is going to be stand out with this game, so I'm definitely going to try it out.
Heck yeah.
Any luck?
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. Any luck?
I'm on the Bethesda website and it says select your region. America's not on the list.
Wow, that seems like an oversight. I guess Americans can't play Ghostwire Tokyo.
I'm really confused.
Unfortunate. Who needs to play anyway,
Yeah, I know. What do I do?
Okay, so you keep looking at that. I will talk about the next game, which this is a shock for both you and I, Joe. Forspoken, the PS5 exclusive, was supposed to launch in May and has actually been delayed to October 11th. And we didn't see that until the end of the trailer because the new trailer they showed looked amazing. Like, you're just out in the world in the grass and you're shooting lightning and you're doing backflips with your, like, cool Nikes on and you're jumping around and, like, the voice acting is really good and the visuals, just everything about this game. You know how excited I have been for Forspoken, Joe. So to see the delay from May to October is definitely a bit of a stinker for me because I'm sure there's going to be even more games this October coming out that we want to play. So that is unfortunate. But like overall, I was really, I guess I can't be more positive about Forspoken if I tried. So I don't really know what else I can say except for just how beautiful the game looks.
Yeah, it looks really fun. I'm interested in getting it, but part of me is like, maybe I'll just watch you play it a little bit. I'm on the fence about it right now, to be completely honest, but it looks really cool still.
Yeah. It seems like there is a digital exclusive thing at the end that they show about like a special necklace and a special jacket and whatnot, the crafting starter kit, but whatever. I'm sure they always just have those little things. Now, Joe, I need you back here. All right. So stop with Bethesda for a second because it's time to talk about a real game None of this Tokyo
God.
Ghostwire. None of this Forspoken. None of this, anything. It's time for the Cowabunga collection, baby.
Oh, I was like, he's gonna talk about something like Final Fantasy or whatever.
No, Teenage
Mickey.
Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection announced for 2022. So, this collection features 13 classic TMNT games, including Turtles of Time, which is one of the greatest games ever made. No debate. Shut up. Also shown in the trailer was TMNT Tournament Fighters, which was an arcade fighting game. Back from the Sewer, Follow the Foot Clan, the Manhattan Project, which is a great game. Radical Rescue, and the Hyperstone is coming to all consoles, and at one point in the video they actually say you need a PSN connection to play online, so that means we could play Turtles of Time together, Joe.
Heck yes.
Now this is an important question that might, it might make me, it might change my view of you as a person, depending on how you answer it.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever played a Ninja Turtle game before?
Yeah.
Okay, so like you choose from the 4 turtles and you beat them up and you throw them around and pick up pizzas and right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you play, like for example, TMNT 4 Turtles in Time, what turtle do you play as?
Okay, I don't think I've ever played the one you just said, Turtles in Time. I've never played that one, but I've played the older games. I used to play a game on my Game Boy all the time, because I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was younger. But when I was younger, I would play as Leonardo.
That's the right answer. This is why we're best friends.
Exactly. But now that I am older,
no,
I would choose Donatello, because Donatello is my
You're
favorite.
such a loser. Oh my god. You couldn't have just accepted that we were friends. You had to bring Donatello into this.
Joe, can I make one last comment?
Okay. Only one though.
Only one. If we're gonna play together, we both can't be Leonardo.
That's a great point.
So isn't it great that I also like Donatello a lot, so that I can play him and still be happy about it?
But he's the
Then we
fourth,
don't have to.
But he's the 4th best turtle.
In your opinion, though,
That's
I
your
love Donatello
opinion,
because of his
man. Rank
because
them
of his
right now.
tech.
1 through 4. Rank them.
Okay, so it's gonna be Donatello, then Leonardo,
Okay.
then Michelangelo, then Raphael.
I respect having Raph in 4th. I respect it. Now
I very much do like me some Michelangelo. He might be tied for 2nd with Leonardo because I love how funny he is.
he's a party dude. What can you say?
He's the one who says "Cowabunga," dude. Like he's the one who does it. My favorite thing from the original live action movies that they did was Michelangelo's waiting in the sewer underneath the sewer grate, being like, "Pizza dude's late."
No, it's Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. He's got a toothpick in his mouth, waiting.
Yeah.
And then when he does
It's a Domino's pizza, though.
And then he's like, when he goes, "Oh, come on, I couldn't find the place. No tip." He goes, wise man once said, "Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza." Oh, that's one of the best. God, that movie is so good.
I've never seen the second one. I've only seen the first one.
I love all 3 of them, honestly. The second one, tries to be as good as the first, and it's not story-wise. And then the third one is just yeah, we're not serious at all. This is ridiculous. Just go along for the ride. And that's what I love about the third one.
That's the best. You want to know something crazy? In the Smithsonian, they have Michelangelo's turtle costume from the live action movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's awesome. Anyway,
let's move on to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game coming out this year. I've only seen snippets of JoJo episodes. Joe, you haven't really watched it either, but this game actually did look kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a fighting game. If you're really into fighting games, it looks like a good time. For me, it was just okay, but yeah.
It had 50 playable characters, right? So I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of crossover between the characters. Like they're all gonna play like each other because that's tough to make 50 unique character fighting styles. But I'm sure this is gonna sell well, just like a lot of anime fighting games do, just because of the material being so popular. You know.
Yeah.
And actually, it did look kind of fun. I'm not really gonna play it because there's other fighting games down the pipe I'm more interested in, but. Alright, so we can skip this Returnal Ascension campaign co-op update. It's later this month. You can play Returnal with 2 people, whatever. Let's get on to the final two announcements of the state of play here, which are both Square Enix titles. Now, the first game, and my friends, like, they know me so well, so my friend Ted actually texted me because he was watching the state of play, and he sent me the link to this trailer because he knew I would be interested in it because it's Square and it's an RPG and it's kind of like Fire Emblem like, and because he knows my thing about the Square Enix game titles, like the names. So this game is a new strategy RPG called the Diofield Chronicle. Now, I don't know how many times we have to do this, Joe. I don't know until we get somebody from Square Enix on the marketing team on the podcast to discuss this with us. We can't keep letting them get away with this. Like, they can't keep calling games like this and getting away with it. You had Octopath Traveler, made no sense. Triangle Strategy is an awful name from what I've seen. I've had friends say it's like potentially their game of the year. That's how much they love Triangle Strategy. But there are so many people that will not play the game because of how awful that name is. And then you have Diofield Chronicle, which is coming out this year, which I'm super excited about because it looks like kind of like Fire Emblem, like Square Enix strategy RPG with some more, I don't know, there are some XCOM, I don't want to just keep calling it other games, but it looks really cool, but it's called The Diofield Chronicle. Not once in the trailer do they mention the word Diofield. The 3 nations that they show off in the game where you play as one of the nations, none of them are called Diofield. And then Diofield is one word, but it has 2 capitalizations in it, and a capital D and a capital F. So, like, is it one word or is it supposed to be 2 words? Is it one thing? Like, this is mind-boggling that Square Enix continues to release games with, like, unapologetically awful titles and get away with it.
Dude, the thing that it's like, what is it? Like, we keep feeding the fire at this point. People keep loving the games that they're like, hey man, whatever. This one's called Pony Shore Horse Shower. And it's like, what does that even mean? It's a great game, but it makes no sense. Like, yeah. Oh my God. Like, what are you going to do?
Like, the game looks awesome. We watched the trailer together. I am super excited for it. You know I love JRPGs, Joe, and this one's a strategy RPG. It's got, like, British voice actors and stuff, and, like, I'm super down. But, like, I don't know if I could support these awful names anymore. It's not even the Chronicles. It's one story. It's not even multiple stories. There's no Chronicles of the Diofield. There's just the one Diofield Chronicle. Like, what are we doing here?
Just trying to live our lives.
Oh, it comes out this year. I'm definitely going to play it because it looks awesome.
Joe, you're part of the problem.
I know. Okay, but in my defense, I have not bought Triangle Strategy. I have refused to buy it, even though through all the Game of the Year recommendations I've seen from friends, I am not buying Triangle Strategy. I refuse. I just can't do it.
Yeah, you're like, I refuse to do it, and then everybody's like, hey, check it out.
Oh, is this a sale? Okay.
It's pretty, and you're like, maybe.
And then the final game of the state of play was another Square title called Valkyrie Elysium, and it was actually a brand new announcement, so it hadn't been seen before. It is releasing in 2022. Had this like blonde lady that in this like knight armor that we were all right. I'm interested. I'm down. And then she starts like kicking people's butts and doing awesome action sequences. And I'm like, okay, now I'm really down here. So let me see what this note says. The game is a new entry in Square Enix's Valkyrie profile series. Excuse me. I keep thinking of Valkyria Chronicles, but that's freaking Diofield Chronicles getting in my brain for that. So the Valkyrie Profile series, which hasn't seen a home console entry since 2006 on the PS2. So we got a quick look at gameplay, which showed magic and sword combat against a variety of beast-like foes. So I know, you were kind of joking on this while we were watching it, but it does at least look pretty cool, Joe.
Yeah, for you, not necessarily for me.
Wow.
The joke that me and Joe were doing while it was playing was, it's got grass in it. I'm out.
Look at the foliage. Too much.
And then he was like, "Oh, pretty girl. I'm back in."
Back in. You grabbed my attention.
So we were talking about the TikTok song. It's like, you had me, then you lost me. I'm back in.
I'm back in for the waifu. What can I say?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so that was the whole state of play. What's your favorite game that you saw out of this? For me, unfortunately, it's the stupid Diofield Chronicle.
Of course it is. It's Ghostwire Tokyo, and what was that other one that I was like pumped about now that I can't even remember?
The Exo Primal.
The Exo Primal was pretty cool, but I wasn't like, that's like something I'll have to look into.
Let me look. There's nothing really else besides Forspoken.
Yeah, then it was what is it? Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay, cool. Every time Square announces a game, I should just post that Jesse Pinkman gif of "he can't keep getting away with this." Whatever.
Oh my god. All right. Let's go over. It's March. It's March 14th as we're recording this. Pi Day. Happy Pi Day, Joe. Have you had a pie today?
I have not. But
okay.
It's also March Madness, Joe. So it is
March Madness. But at the same time, it's March 14th. We're almost halfway through this month. And we have had several game releases as well as several more coming out throughout the end of this month. It's
actually staggering how much is coming out. And if you think about how Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring were like kind of the last week of February, just like this 4 or 5 week stretch is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is insane. There is a lot of games that have already come out. I know me and Joe are definitely looking forward for this Wednesday the 16th for Tunic to drop, so we can finally get our hands onto that foxy little boy. That was bad. The main character is a fox, and he's dressed like Link. Sorry.
Oh my god, Joe. That was awful phrasing.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, we got Ghostwire Tokyo coming out next Friday, along with Kirby and the Forgotten Land, as well as Tiny Tina 1. That is a 3 big title drop.
Okay, hold on. Let's not even get there. Let's start at the beginning, because that's what I wanted to say with how ridiculous, how it ramps up. So we're not going to go through every game, obviously, but we have a list on Game Informer's website of every game releasing in March. So you had like Babylon's Fall was a Square Enix title, came out at the beginning of the month. Gran Turismo 7, Triangle Strategy also at the beginning of the month, and then Chocobo GP, which I kind of joke. I'm not actually buying it, and apparently it has like really gross microtransactions. So
I thought you were like super pumped about that.
I was, but then if it was a $20 game, I was gonna play it, but like it's a $40 game, I think. It's either 40 or 50, and like they have like season passes, and like the first thing you see is to like spend $200 real life dollars for these gems to unlock other racers and things. I'm like, yo, like this should be a free to play game. Like you're trying to get hundreds of bucks out of me.
What happens if it was a free to play game, but then there was also the transactions like that?
But then it would make sense, right? Because why does it cost $50 if you want to charge me another $200 in microtransactions?
Okay, fair.
So then WWE 2K22, I'm not playing that, but that's a game people like. Paradise Killer is coming out on, was it the 16th? So tomorrow, technically, same as Tunic, which Joe and I both talked about. For me, what's tough, your March 25th is this week. My Tunic, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax and Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins are releasing the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Well, good thing you have those days off, so you could just one after another, like, right?
Yeah, I like how you put that. Have those days off. I just happen to be open.
I don't know what I was thinking when I said that.
Good thing you're unemployed, so you have all this time to play Tunic and Persona.
I didn't want to air that out
It's
on
fine.
you. I didn't want to be like unemployed Joe over here.
Okay, so in your opinion, with Tunic, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and Final Fantasy Origins. Now, this weekend, I'm going to Utah. We have Pokemon events are coming back. We have a regional, finally, for the first time in 2 years. We have live Pokemon events again. And I'm flying out to Utah with friends, and we're going to have a fun time. So I'm leaving on Friday. So,
okay.
Like, how should I map this out? Like, which one should I give my time to before I leave for Utah?
Which one are you the most excited about?
Tunic for sure.
You have been waiting for Tunic for a while, so I think most of Wednesday is going to be Tunic.
Okay.
Pretty much all of Wednesday is Tunic.
Yeah,
and then
we'll see how long the game is.
And then, what comes out the next day?
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
And you're super pumped about that?
Yes.
I have a feeling that will come out and you will become engulfed in Tunic and then not play that game.
Ooh, I like that prediction. That's a spicy prediction.
I don't know about the Final Fantasy game. How invested are you in that?
The gameplay looks really good. The story I'm not interested in, but I'm gonna be hitting X a lot to slash, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my idea is what happened to me with Pokemon, where Pokemon and Dying Light 2 came out around the same time. And then I started Dying Light 2. I was like, okay, and let me try this Pokemon game. And then I started the Pokemon game. And then I didn't pick up Dying Light 2 until I finished the Pokemon game like a week ago. So
yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried that like a month from now I'm gonna start playing Final Fantasy Origin and I'll like have missed the craze on it.
Is it a multiplayer game? Is that what it is?
No, it's single player.
Oh, then who cares?
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah. You're fine.
Also, I'm not going to play it, but Rune Factory 5 has been a big announcement for a while now. That also comes out March 22nd. And then we get to your week. Your ultimate dilemma here, Joe, with Ghostwire Tokyo, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and Tiny Tina's Wonderland all launching on March 25th.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna get the Kirby game, to be completely honest with you.
Okay.
I'm not as big as a fan of Kirby as you and Schnabel are. So not saying there's anything wrong with Kirby. I'm just making it clear. But yes, it will be a dilemma between Ghostwire Tokyo and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I don't know. I'll probably start with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And then jump it.
That's what I was going to recommend, because I feel like you could... it's probably easier to breeze through Tiny Tina's than it is Ghostwire Tokyo. Right?
But the other thing is I'm going to be playing Tiny Tina's with a friend, so maybe that'll be just like the game I play with him, and then I'll play Ghostwire by myself.
Ooh, that's a good point, too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm full of good ideas, you know?
I know, right? You told me to play Tunic. That's a good idea. You told me now you're gonna play Tiny Teams with your friend and Ghostwire by yourself. That's also a great idea. You got a big brain on you, Joe.
I've got big brain ideas all day today, including at work. I don't know what I did, but someone said it was a big brain move. Oh, I bought Welch's fruit snacks for the lab.
Nice.
That's what it was.
That is a big brain move.
The big brain move. But yeah, so all this stuff coming out this month, and I scrolled down a little bit, Joe. I don't know if you did, but April, kind of a bare month for games.
How dare you say that? Because right now, all these games in March, whatever. This is really a Nintendo Switch Sports waiting room.
Oh my god, I forgot. April 29th is when that comes out, correct?
Yes, we're going to be playing Nintendo Switch Sports, okay? So you can use all of the beginning of April to catch up on your games. But April 29th comes and we're going at it.
That's my time. April 29th, our time. But there's so many at this point, like all the rest of the months for me, from what it looks like on this list of months that we have here, are just placeholders. Because the later in the year that we go, the less and less there is.
Well, as of right now.
As of right now is what, yeah, as of right now. So there, if you go all the way down, there's the to be announced, and there is just a ton of games that are just waiting for release dates right now. Primarily all the Pokemon games that were announced. The Legend of Zelda sequel is still in there. We got Splatoon 3. We've got
Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3. We've got all of these crazy games. Oh, like this one. I Am Jesus Christ. This seems like an interesting game. It's I believe it's a simulator game.
Oh my god.
Like, you know, like, what is it? PC Builder Simulator? This is Jesus Christ Simulator? Oh my god.
I wonder how it ends. You know?
Spoiler alert. But yeah, so like, March is a really jam-packed month, and I'm sure as we continue to go down the line, we will continue to get more and more jam-packed. Oh my god, there's a Destroy All Humans 2 coming out?
And Starfield's coming out November 11th.
Okay, yeah, but Destroy All Humans 2? That's amazing. All right, Starfield, great. Excited. That'll probably get pushed back. We all know that's what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, Joe, the next time you'll see me, I'll be playing with your foxy little boy that you're so excited about.
This is true.
Have you watched any trailers and stuff?
Yeah, we watched. We watched a few.
There's like an in-game language in it that like we don't know what the words are. Like you go to a sign and it's just a whole bunch of symbols, and you're like, oh, okay. I guess I should get my notebook out and try to figure out what that says. The game is actually pretty tough. Like seeing some of the combat in it, like they expect you to die a lot. And then I'm sure
it's like a Dark Souls game.
I'm sure there's gonna be a whole bunch of puzzles that we have to solve too. So I'm very excited for Tunic.
Let's do it, bro. I'm gonna bring us home.
All
right. I've been your host of this episode, Joe Parian, accompanied by my good friend, best friend, some say, Joe Brown. And this has been Cup of Joe's. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the next episode of Cup of Joe's.